Welcome to West Virginia. Today we're going to take you on an adventure on the entirety of the Canaan Loop Road and share just a little bit of Blackwater Falls State Park. So if you enjoy a little technical driving, some local wildlife, some beautiful views, a local waterfall, and some technical problems, well, you should come along. I arrived here solo in my Gladiator, aired down my tires, and promptly started driving on the loop to try and figure out where the boys had found a campsite. The Canaan Loop is a 14.5-mile stretch of dirt and gravel road that is well known for having free dispersed campsites. If you start this trail off of State Route 32 just south of Davis, the first 10 miles are so easy you may pass two-wheel drive minivans. After you pass the Table Rock trailhead, that trail starts to narrow and deteriorate until you're going to wonder if you're even on the same trail. The name of this valley was either a mispronunciation by a 1700s German settler who proclaimed it akin to the biblical Promised Land, or a corruption of Canadian Valley, which was a desolate place not fit for man or beast, complete with the river Styx, which is now named the Blackwater River. If you really want to know whether this is a land flowing with milk and honey or a bleak, forsaken wilderness, you'll just have to decide that for yourself. From what I've seen, I'd say it's a little of both. The obstacles I encountered on this trail before I found the boys in their campsite, they're probably about a level 3 because of the depths of some of the mud holes. If you'd like to see a more in-depth video on those first 11 miles of trail, make sure to check out the link below from our last video. Rue, I don't know if I've ever known a dog so tired that they used a rock as a pillow. After a good night's sleep and the pre-dawn arrival of the last two members of our party, we were up to enjoy breakfast and get ready for the rest of the trail.
How do you know if you're going to be turkeys or pigs? They look different.
Yeah, please make sure that I get the turkeys. I don't want to feel miserable today.
Holy spoochiness. Just throw it down.
Wow. That's a lot of food. You really think I can eat all of that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize you were serving this for me. Because that's a lot of food.
Another pancake?
No, that's plenty.
We got 3 more in here.
That's plenty. After breakfast, Rue and I took a walk to see what we could see. Bill and I had driven this road 2 years previously, and I remembered some pretty significant obstacles ahead. Things that looked a little like this, and were perhaps just a little bit harder than level 3. Reacher and Adriana led that morning. This particular Jeep is a Gladiator on 37-inch tires with a lift. Tristan, our camp chef extraordinaire, was driving next in line. Today, he's driving Bill and my JKU on 35-inch tires with a leveling kit. In that Overland trailer, it's on 33-inch tires. Today, I was driving tail in my Gladiator with 37-inch tires and a leveling kit. And if you're keeping track, that means Bill's behind the camera today. The obstacles that you'll find in the last 3 to 4 miles of the Canaan Loop Trail, they're not all that hard, though sometimes they look a little bit intimidating. Mostly what you'll find here are some rocky steps, declines, inclines, and the occasional water crossing. day we drove the Canaan Loop, the rhododendron were in bloom, and you could smell the heady fragrance everywhere. Oh, is he gonna get his feet wet? Oh, he got his feet wet. He's just gonna.
You made me think I needed to stop.
No, I was just teasing the fact that he was doing everything he could to not get his feet wet, and then he did. Wow, that trailer climbed that big rock. That was awesome.
It's also partially a rooftop.
Yes, it is. All day, Bill had been trying to direct me to drive the hardest lines. And what I've got to say about that is that there are some days that a girl just doesn't want to listen, especially if it has to do with driving over large rocks.
I was trying to get you to crawl the rock.
I didn't want to do that.
Would have made a good film.
Bill had done a little bit of filming when we were in Michigan on Drummond Island, but today he took it to a whole new level, making sure to jump on the back of that trailer even when the rhododendron was trying to push him off. I have to agree, however, that it made for some pretty good film. These deep, muddy ruts were probably one of the more technical sections in this area, depending on the line you took. And Bill, he was directing me to take that hard line, and this time I listened. Although I do have a little bit of video of me reaching that 21-degree roll from two different angles, unfortunately, Bill forgot to start the camera here. So as a newer driver, what did this 21-degree roll feel like? Well, nature may have described it best.
Thanks for a good video. I'll make your butt pucker that way.
Not the words that I would have chosen, but it's definitely one way to phrase it.
A little nice water crossing. That doesn't look like anything too crazy.
When you reach this particular incline, you've reached just about the end of the technical section of the Canaan Loop Road. This is also the area where we had to pull somebody out with a winch who'd fallen off the edge of the road 2 years previously. It's such an awesome feeling to be in the right place at the right time to help somebody like this out, especially in an area that usually is pretty much unpopulated.
Yeah. When you hit pavement.
When you hit pavement, there's going to be a little trail off to your left, just up a little bit. It's probably worth going down to do the overlook. It's a very short trail.
I'm telling them it'll probably be like Disney World. You have to find a place to park.
The parking lot for the Lindy Point Overlook is right where the dirt meets the pavement. And although it's hard to find parking here, it's always worth it to make it work. This out and back trail is less than 3/4 of a mile in total, but keep your eyes out for things like this as you're hiking. I've got to say that this was the first time that I've ever seen 5 snakes all hanging out and enjoying the afternoon together. Oh, I see the 5th one over there.
Truly a family of snakes.
5 snakes. Even if you don't like snakes, however, this view is worth the hike. I already got it.
Yeah, the white stripe on your back.
As you look out over the vastness of the Canaan Valley, with the Blackwater River carving its way down the center, you might get just an inkling of why one man might call this the Promised Land, and another man might call it a bleak, forsaken wilderness. What we saw today in this valley were those threatening rain clouds coming our way, and we quickly hiked back to our vehicles. That rain lasted just long enough for us to cook and enjoy lunch, and then, as it always does, the sun came out again. Our plan at this point was to air up all those vehicles so we could find dispersed camping towards Virginia for the night. But first, we wanted to enjoy Blackwater Falls. Blackwater Falls and the Blackwater River, they're named because of the dark-colored water which is stained amber by the tannic acid from fallen hemlock and red spruce needles. The water over the falls today was beautiful and clear, but you could still see a hint of that amber color in the water below. As we left Blackwater Falls behind, we all thought we were going to be driving towards Virginia and dispersed camping. But sometimes things just don't go as you plan. Although everyone had already aired up their tires, as we started leaving Blackwater, Bill realized he'd forgotten to rehook the sway bar. So we stopped just briefly in a parking lot to get that done. And that's when it happened. The driver of another vehicle in that almost vacant parking lot, he practically fell right out of that driver's door onto the ground. Although he almost immediately used an EpiPen, it was very clear that he was not recovering. Thankfully, we were in the right place at the right time and able to get him medical help despite the lack of signal in the area. Reacher and Adriana also shuttled his manual stick-shift car all the way to the hospital when his friend was unable to do so. And that's how we all found ourselves back at Blackwater Falls State Park at the campground for the night. Bill, contemplating life. So what did you think of today, Bill?
It was busy.
It was definitely busy. Starting out by driving a challenging road, going to check out a falls, helping out a guy with an allergic reaction get to the hospital, and now getting showers, which was awesome. And now watching Tristan, our chef, do what he does, which is always astonishing to me because it always tastes fabulous, and I don't know how he does it because I can't cook that way. And little dog just being little dog. So what time is that? 4 or 5, like now. So that's supposed to be coming through when?
Between 6 and 7.
Okay, so, well, it is between 6 and 7.
Yeah,
It's 6:23.
So it's about to start. I thought it was 5:30.
Yeah, so we're about to get that rain. Although we all could have done with a little less rain that day, we would have missed out on all these beautiful clouds and colors without it. Looks like a Monet painting. And while Adriana, the dogs, and I were enjoying those beautiful colors, the boys were discovering other issues.
On your finger, there's a booger or oil. From where?
So tell me this again. What do you have in your
I
hand?
don't want to be on TV.
Well, fine. I'll just show your hands on TV. Is that better?
Sure.
It's just your hands.
The map sensor has got oil on it that's coming back from this breather return tube, and we're going to clean it and see if it makes it better.
So that might make the engine a little happier?
It might make the engine run better because with this covered in oil, the engine can't determine how much air is getting into the engine, so it freaks out and puts it into limp mode, and you're stuck on the side of the road.
And it goes blah, blah, blah.
Thank you for the reenactment.
Now, I don't know much about the mechanical side of things, but tomorrow's roads, these mountain roads are demanding enough, even for a vehicle in good condition. So if you want to find out whether all 3 vehicles, mechanical troubles and all, are going to make it all the way into Virginia and dispersed camping with all members of our party, well, you're just going to have to come back next time and find out. Thanks so much for joining us in our adventure today. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and comment. We look forward to having you as a guest again. But in the meantime, go out and find your own adventure.